Los Angeles, New York, AP. The names of the big cities in the United States that never sleep now have one new thing in common that shakes: rumors about the solo steps of a South Korean icon who has been known as the Golden Magne of BTS. Jungkook, the global star who once swore that his home was the stage with BTS, is now making the world ask, is this a sign of division? Or is it precisely the birth of a new era in the history of global music? Too much is not said, too much is left hanging in the air. But one thing is certain: something is going on behind the glass walls of HYBE's headquarters in Yongsan, Seoul. Jungkook's sudden movements, his visit to the United States without a full escort from HYBE's staff, to his silent sighting with some top music producers in Los Angeles all trigger big questions. Is HYBE losing control of her brightest star? The insider, who declined to be named, who has worked for more than 5 years under HYBE's global strategy division, whispered one simple sentence that is now echoing speculation throughout the media: we can't help it anymore. Jungkook is too big. That statement alone is enough to make the K-pop world stunned. What does that mean? Is HYBE, the giant agency that held complete control over BTS since they were young and unknown, now starting to lose its spurs over the Golden Magne? Did Jungkook start stepping on his own not because he wanted to, but because he felt the need to get out of the shadows that held him back? This news is not just a wild whisper or ordinary celebrity gossip. It's part of a larger narrative that has been building slowly since the global pandemic hit and the world of the music industry began to shift away from old prints toward a more digital, freer, and more personalized realm. Jungkook, with his soft yet deadly voice, has been incarnated not just as a singer, but as a symbol of globalization that transcends genre boundaries and national identities. In early 2025, when the world was still preoccupied with BTS' full post-enlistment reunion discourse, one by one clues began to surface. A mysterious post from Scooter Braun, the famed US music manager known for holding Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, shows a silhouette of a man with a microphone and a distinctive tattoo on his unmistakable right hand. Army comments exploded. That's Jungkook. That's him, right? Scooter, without responding directly, left only one eye and fire emoji. But for a global community that knows Jungkook like it knows its own pulse, this is a clear signal that something is quietly being cooked up in America. And this is not something small. A week later, Jungkook was spotted at a private restaurant in Beverly Hills. Not with the HYBE staff, not with BTS, but sit down face-to-face with Benny Blanco, a top producer who previously worked with BTS on Bad Decisions, and Coldplay's Chris Martin. Yes, Chris Martin. The world fell silent. The encounter was like an inaudible explosion, appearing as a blur photo from a fan's camera, but struck with an impact the size of a tsunami. A music industry analyst from Billboard said, if it's true Jungkook and Chris Martin are negotiating something, then it could be the biggest solo move in the history of Asian artists penetrating the American market. And at this point, it's starting to become clear, Jungkook isn't just stopping by the US. He's building something that maybe HYBE could no longer control. Why has this become so controversial? Because so far, the image of BTS is a unity. They are not like ordinary boy groups that compete with each other in the agency. They were family. That's how they always described themselves. But now, that image is beginning to crack. Even the loyal fans of ARMY are torn in speculation. Is this a personal decision? Did HYBE approve of this move? Or are they forced to remain silent? Several former HYBE staffers who now work at independent agencies revealed that HYBE had long been afraid of Jungkook's individual potential. He is too independent. He can write his own songs, directing music video concept, dance with precision. He's perfect. But it's perfect for itself, not for a collective system like HYBE, said one of those who is now based in LA. And this is the root of the silent chaos that is going on. Jungkook is no longer a shy, dark-haired teenager who always stares at his hyung for permission. He is now a grown man, with an international charisma and artistic intelligence that can no longer be confined to the standard K-pop template. The culmination took place at an industry event attended only by the world's music elite at Soho House, New York. In a closed-door conversation leaked to the media, a well-known producer called Jungkook's name the next real thing from Asia. That sentence alone is enough to thrill the entire management ranks of HYBE. What happened next was even crazier. 3 days in a row, HYBE's shares had experienced sharp fluctuations only because of speculation about Jungkook leaving the company, or at least forming his own division under foreign management. HYBE denied it. But there was no immediate official statement from Jungkook. And in the silence, precisely the noise was even more deafening. Music watchers, entertainment business analysts, to ordinary fans now cross each other's opinions. Some consider this a natural evolution of a great artist. Some others feel this is the beginning of the destruction of the BTS unit as the world has known it. In fact, some loud voices on online forums are starting to question, does this mean BTS is split? And if so, is HYBE ready to bear the impact? HYBE is not without power. They have built BTS from the ground up, making them icons of Korean culture, even global ambassadors. But true power cannot be held forever in too strong a grip. And now, Jungkook is starting to shine on his own, not because he wants to leave anyone behind, but because he can no longer be who he really is. Is this the end of BTS as we know it? Or is this the beginning of a new era of Jungkook as a standalone global icon, transcending the boundaries of his group and origin? Clearly, this is no ordinary story. It's a story of ambition, freedom, perceived betrayal, and the decisions one must make in order to be true to one's inner voice. This is the story of a young man who can no longer be part of the system because he is now the system itself. And if it's true that HYBE can't stand it anymore, the question is now, is the world ready for a truly free version of Jungkook? Rumors that once only whispered quietly in the halls of fandom are now transformed into shouts that echo throughout the entertainment world. Jungkook is no longer just an idol. It is a threat to the system, a revolutionary who broke the hopes of the industrial masters to keep everything in place. And in all this noise, HYBE, once a safe haven and the starting point of BTS's incredible career, began to seem like a giant losing its way. While other agencies are busy looking for new seats, HYBE panics over their own overly fertile crop. Jungkook is no longer a seed that can be shaped at will. It had grown into a giant tree whose roots ran all over the world, and HYBE was now powerless to cut off the branches that were growing in a direction they had not planned. Anger, confusion, and fear mixed together in the company's internal boardrooms. A leaked strategy document allegedly from HYBE's Global Expansion Division indicates that emergency measures have been put in place to secure the loyalty of featured artists through exclusive collaborative offerings. However, industry observers see that not as a strategy, but rather a sign of fear. When an artist has gone beyond the branding of his own agency, a new force is born. And that's exactly what's going on. Jungkook no longer just belongs to BTS, HYBE, or even Korea. It now belongs to the world. When the public was busy guessing, Jungkook actually chose to be silent. But it is precisely behind that silence that the storm is being designed. At an exclusive photo shoot with iconic American photographer Annie Leibovitz, which was leaked to the media via an intern account, Jungkook was seen dressed in a minimalist black outfit, standing in the middle of the Nevada desert.